Hello there YouTubers, welcome back to the Fly Tang Tavern with myself, Andy Rowlands and Davey Williamson. It's episode 2, week 2 here, and we've got some fabulous patterns in store for you. First off, we're going to tie a Corixa pattern known as the water boatman. It's a great wee fly friend at the shallow margins around the lakes and further out in the deeper. You'd want to fish this fly at the bottom, pulling it up, letting it float down to the bottom with small jerky movements. It's a wee request from Marty Mac. So we're using a Camasan B170 size 12 hook. The thread I'm using is my usual UTC 70. So we'll get started. Tie the thread, catch it just at the front, bring it down slightly, roughly to there. Next up, we want to take some pheasant tail. This is just natural pheasant tail. You want to take roughly about 10 strands, hold it out straight and just cut it with your scissors. Once we've got your strands, level up the tips. At this point, take your tips. They don't have to be exact because the wee bug's not going to be exact in real life. Roughly the length of the shank of your hook. Catch it in just where you finished your thread. A couple of loose turns, 2 tight turns. At this point, bring your thread down, leaving the remaining pheasant tail. Stop just roughly when you're in line with the barb. At this point, you want to take some rabbit. You just want to use the white fluffy hair just down at the bottom. Just take a small pinch of the hair and cut it roughly about 1 centimetre in length and dub this onto your hook. You don't want too much of this. It's this very small wee pattern, just a wee small bit to get you started. This could very well be enough. So just turn your thread until the dubbing starts to go on. Keeping your dubbing reasonably tight as we go up the hook. Keep it pretty even, let some of the guard hairs stick out. At this point, take off your dubbing. This is where we're going to put in some longer legs. So again, I'm going to take some pheasant tail, roughly about 4 fibres for each side. So you want to take that. You want these to be roughly the length of the hook again. Catch it in a kind of sidewards. And you can leave the spikes there, we're just going to cut it off straight. So once you get it caught in, figure 8 pattern, keeping the legs sticking out the side pretty much as straight as possible. You can use Google to have a look at this pattern, the water boatman Corixa. At this point, we're going to stop. Take your pheasant tail at the back, fold it over the front. You can just fold these legs back a second, pinch it, just turn, have a look, make sure everything's okay. A couple of tight turns. Then what you want to do is take the remaining long parts and cut it nice and tight to the thread. At this point you can see we've got nice legs sticking out. So what we're going to do, these parts at the front, push them up, figure out roughly half of them, pull them back, kind of like a nymph, put them down underneath or to the side. Not overly important this part. As I say, the real bug is quite messy, so we want to try and imitate it as best as possible. So there we go, form a small head at this point. Form your small head, just like that, and we'll whip finish off at that. Just 2 or 3 turns is enough for these wee flies. Trim the thread. Now you want to take the big legs that are coming out the side, you want to cut these roughly a couple of mil just behind the back of the hook and push them out flat. That's about perfect. Now you can finish up with a fly like that if you're happy enough, but if you want to go the extra mile, you can take some UV resin. You could also do this with varnish if you've got the patience. You just want to tap some on over the shell back, just to form a nice sort of shell on this wee fly. Just to give it a nice wee glassy shell back look. I'm happy enough with that, so I'm going to take my UV laser pen and set the resin. Just a few seconds should do this. So there we go, we're pretty much finished. If you think you've too many legs out the side, you just trim a few back. Just trim it till the fly gets to your liking. And using the pheasant tail for this gives it a very natural look. As I say, you want to fish this short, sharp retrieves. So there we go, we're finished. There's the water boatman, also known as a crixa. So there you go, Marty Mac. We hope you've enjoyed that. Now you can tie a few of your own. There you go. So I'm going to pass you over to Davey here and we'll see what he's got in store tonight.